Let's do this.
Hey guys, welcome to a very special edition of Tipsy Tips called Tipsy Talk. This is a concept so new that we don't even have a logo yet. I got a very, very special guest today who's been making huge waves in the poker community. He's currently ranked #1 most searched player in the entire world, Salomon, #King Ponte. Salomon, thank you so much for being here, man.
No, thank you for having me.
Yeah, man, very excited to have you here, man. Obviously, a lot been going on for you this week, man. Why don't you start by telling us a little bit about what got you to this point?
Honestly, it's been a crazy experience. 3 months ago, I set a goal to become #1 in poker, and like everything I do in life, I'm the best at it. So I set a goal, and I probably set a record in terms of the quickest time to hit #1. I started 3 months ago back at it was starting in LA, at the Commerce, and then 3 months later I'm #1.
Yeah, man, I would say that's a record.
Yeah, man, it's insane actually. I feel I don't know. I feel like my life is complete. I need to find something else to do or something. But the next step is to face Doug Polk heads up for $1 million if he ever, chooses to accept, the bet that he offered. So
let's talk about that, man. I understand you're accepting some donations right now to kind of get you there. Where can we donate?
So if you go to my just go to my Twitch stream. There's a link there. If you go to my Facebook wall, you'll find the link there. Go to my Instagram, you'll find any of my social media platforms. You'll find the link to donate. I don't have the link in front of me, but you can find it easily. So I'm not really looking for donations. Obviously, if you want to give me free money, no problem. But I'm looking for more investors, and I wouldn't be doing this if I didn't think that Doug was going to do this, I'm pretty sure that Doug, whether he has the money or not, which I think he's probably broke, which is why he's been dodging me so much to play for the million. But, I'm pretty certain that he's going to raise money too. So if he's going to do it, why would I risk my own hard dollars if I don't have to, So I'm raising some money, right? Depending on how much you want to contribute, I'm going to be charging a markup anywhere between probably 1.1 and 1.4. Obviously, the more that you contribute, the better deal you're going to get.
Sure.
And so here's the thing that I'm worried about. I don't think he's going to do it. I think he's being a bitch, and he's gonna just back out. And I don't understand why, because he offered. He's the one that came up with, hey, let's play for $1 million if you're so tough, whatever. I'm and then right away I accepted it, and then he gets all into this whole thing about, oh, I want to, escrow less money, blah, blah, blah. I'm listen, do what you want. I'll accept your thing, but I'm not going to escrow, a measly $50K. If you want to do some escrowing, we're going to escrow the full $1 million. And, ever since then, he won't give me his phone number. He won't answer me on social media, nothing. So it leads me to believe that we're not going to play solely because I think he's broke. And he's probably a little bit.
You would think that the #1 heads-up player in the world would be able to take on any challengers, right?
Yeah, exactly. And listen, I'm out there, every day I'm there blasting him on social media. I'm Doug, are you going to put your money where your mouth is? What is going on, Doug? You made this challenge, and I have accepted, and, you're doing nothing to, move forward with this challenge. We were supposed to... if he had actually agreed to it, we were going to play at Live at the Bike for the $1 million. But now Live at the Bike has banned me because of my antics. And, I'm offering different people to host it. I went to Jeff Gross. I'm Jeff, I know you do, a stream on a yacht with, Bill Perkins. Do you want to host this? It's going to get to be the most viewed thing in poker history.
Right.
And then another option is to go back and just do it with Poker Night in America. So I'm getting the ball rolling. Obviously, Doug's not involved, but he offered the bet, and I'm assuming he's going to accept it at some point. Because if he doesn't accept it, we're going to find out two things: one, that he's broke, and two, that he's just like a bitch. So
so going back to Poker Night in America, that's kind of where your rivalry with Doug got started. with you and Doug and Sean and all the controversy there. You want to talk a little bit about what happened there?
Yeah. So no, we had the beef before I came on the show, and I've kind of said this before. Like before coming on the show, the producers of the show, like Matt Glantz and Todd Anderson, they approached me and they're like, "Listen, like we know you're wild, and we know that the ratings are going to go through the roof, and we know that the views are going to go through the roof, which happens, But they're like, listen, we are taking a big risk by having you on this show because there are certain things that you need to make sure you do not say, or else, we're gonna lose our TV contracts, we're gonna lose our sponsorships. Like there are certain things you can't say." So we sat down and we came up with 3 specific words that I was not allowed to say, and that was faggot, cunt, and nigger, And we agreed that if I even said that once, I would right away be removed from the show, banned, and never be allowed back on the show. So I went under those pretenses, and they basically told me that after, besides that, everything is fair game. You can talk about people's mothers, you can do whatever you want. And then after the show, they're like, wow, you killed it. The views were huge, one of the most viewed episodes in history. Everything was amazing. But we wish you didn't talk about Sean Lee's wife so much, I'm like, listen, guys, that wasn't in the contract. We said 3 things, not 4. And you can't fault me for that because you told me to go off. And they're like, yeah, next time we have you on, we're going to sit down with you and we're going to maybe expand that list a little bit. But, at the end of the day, they loved having me on the show. They said they're going to have me back. So if Doug, stops being such a little pussy, we're going to, play for heads up. It's either going to be a Poker Night in America or maybe, I don't know, some live stream is going to take on the responsibility of filming the show. Because, listen, whoever films this heads up match, if Doug Polk actually accepts the match, this is going to be the biggest thing in poker history. I don't think there's a bigger thing ever, Joe Ingram, who's a bitch, also said that, if it actually happens, which he doesn't think it's going to happen because he thinks that Doug Polk's going to, bitch out because he's all talk. If it actually does happen, it'll be the biggest thing ever.
Yeah, man, absolutely. So Poker Night is willing to have you back. Matt's willing to have you back on the show, as long as it's not at one of the casinos I guess you've been banned from.
Which is most casinos in the USA, but for the ratings, me and Matt will figure something out.
Where are you right now? You're at the Venetian?
Well, I was at the Venetian. Right now, I went to visit one of my rabbis, actually, because I'm Jewish. So
right.
I went to go to them, they advised me in life, I take their advice very seriously because these guys, they're leaders of communities. They know what's up, and, they give good advice, Listen, I made a statement, a public statement today on Facebook, on Instagram, and on Twitter, and I basically said, and I kind of apologized a little bit for my actions, and I told everyone, I'm like, listen, my goal is to get number 1, right? I achieved that goal, and now I'm going to be taking a break from poker. Live at the Bike canceled, so, that's not going to be happening. And I told them, I'm going to be taking a break for a few months. The only thing that I'm not going to be taking a break from is, the second Doug Polk says, hey, let's play heads up. I'm going to be in Israel now for, 10 months. I'm going to take it a month at a time, see how it goes. But my flight is booked for me to leave, next week. I'm going to come back, in 10 months. But, I can come back anytime. But the second Doug Polk says, hey, I'm ready to play you for $1 million, I'm going to man up. I'm not going to be a bitch. I'm not going to be a pussy. I'm going to fly right back to the event. And, we're going to do it. And then I'll fly right back to Israel. So right now I'm putting poker on hold, and I'm going to Israel. Here's one of the rabbis right here. Here's 2 of them. I don't know if you can see them.
Hey, rabbis.
Yeshiva. Oh, yeah. What's the mic about? Okay. Yeah. These guys, great guys, they're my mentors,
Great.
If it wasn't for them, I probably would have ended up in jail at some point. Likely, it would have happened.
Yeah, it's good to clear your head sometimes, man. Just get a little, get a little bit focused on something other than poker, every once in a while.
Exactly. I set a goal, right, to become number 1. And, I got banned from probably, around 20 places in the last 3 months. But and people thought I was crazy. But at the end of the day, like, I'm very smart and I know exactly what I'm doing. Because if you look at my track record, I've been kicked out of 20 places, but I've never been arrested once because I know if I get a criminal record, just one criminal record, I'll lose my CPA. I spent 10 years of my life almost getting a CPA. I'm not going to, like, risk anything to lose it, So, like, even though I've been banned from everywhere, I've never been arrested and I've never been charged criminally. So everything it was an act, obviously. And it's like, people should see that because at the table, like, I'm the biggest douchebag, I'm a piece of shit, I'm a scumbag. I'm making Sean Deep cry. I'm making Doug Polk tilt out of his mind. Like, these are supposed to be the biggest players in the world. And Sean Dweeb was, like, in tears. And Doug Polk was, like, tilting. Like, Doug Polk called the floor on me because I tilted him so badly, Like, this is just supposed to be the best heads-up player. And I put this bird on tilt, Like, how could you be tilting at the professional level? I don't know. Like, you just suck at poker. That's probably what it is.
Yeah, well, you must have something about you too, man. That is above you can take your game to the next level to where you can tilt these huge big name pros or experts, something like that. I mean, that's a skill in itself, man. Just being able to do that.
Of course, man. Because listen, I promise you, if you show the tapes, Sean D, when we got back from dinner break, he had a tear, he looked like he spent the dinner break crying in the bathroom, that's how bad I got him,
Yeah. Hey, Saul, man,
yeah.
Do you have any poker heroes or anyone that you'd love to play with one day?
So I did an interview with Poker Night in America after the show where I kind of explained my whole gig, kind of like how I'm doing with you right now. It's a little bit similar. And I said that I wanted to play with Daniel Negreanu, but he kind of blasted me on Twitter the other day.
Yeah. And
then I went on the full-on offensive because at the end of the day, this is how I roll. And you can ask anyone that knows me. I've encountered, so many. I've pretty much met every single pro poker player right now. And the way I live my life is when you do good to me, okay, I'm gonna do 10 times better for you. And when you do bad to me, I'm going to do 10 times worse. So I have Daniel Negreanu here, talking shit about, how can you have, a player like this on your stream? What's wrong with you? And when people, disrespect me like that, I'm going to blast them, And I have video of Daniel Negreanu, threatening to, kill someone at Commerce. And I found out it was actually Mike Madison that he was threatening. I didn't even realize it was him. But I actually confirmed through Ryan Feldman that Daniel Negreanu was swearing and threatening to kill Mike Madison because Mike Madison owes Daniel $150,000. And I have this on video. And Daniel Negreanu is supposed to be the role model of poker, And the difference between me and Daniel is what I realized is that at the table I'm a piece of shit. Off the table I'm the nicest human being. But Daniel, it's the complete opposite. On the table, he's the nicest guy. Off the table, he's a complete scumbag.
Yeah, man, I've had a chance to talk to you a couple times this week, man. You seem super cool to me. I don't have any, I don't see any reason why anyone would have an issue with you, man. I mean, your table persona is one thing, but
exactly. I do what I do, and I do I go online and I blast people. But at the end of the day, everything I do is for it's just it's for entertainment purposes, I'm here to have a good time, and I can take hits too, as long as they're not personal, you call me whatever, as long as I feel that you're just playing, I'm gonna laugh it off. I'll probably say something back at you, but the second you get personal, I'm gonna just crush you and destroy you.
Yeah, man. A couple more quick questions. I know you're a busy guy, man. But since I am working for Betcoin Poker, you play a little online poker as well, yeah?
Yeah, I've been playing. So I play on PokerStars, But when I'm in the U.S., you can't play on Stars. But when I'm in Toronto, which is never, I only usually play the Sunday Million because I don't really care to play these cash games online so much just because I like the human element a little bit. But when I find value in a tournament or a cash game online, I will play it.
Yeah. What's your best finish in the Sunday Million?
I think 100 or 80. I don't remember exactly. I went deep, Sunday Million gets I don't know, anywhere between 4 and
Yeah.
maybe sometimes
It's hard to
8,000
make it through that field, man.
Yeah, I've gone pretty deep. I think my deepest run is maybe like 80th. But again, like, it's an online tournament. It's $215. Like, it's literally like pocket change. I don't really take it that seriously. I've cashed in it a bunch of times. I've crushed that game. And like, if I wanted to, and if I really set my mind to it, I could go. I could literally go. If I fly into Toronto next week, I could guarantee you that I would win the Sunday Million.
Sure.
If I focus. Because listen, when I do something, and when I set my soul to do something, I crush. And I'll bet anyone money. Whatever you guys want to bet, that if I went to Toronto right now, play the Sunday Million, I would come in first place if I focused. Just because I'm the best in the world at everything.
Dude, it's really good to have you on, man. I do appreciate you being here with me, and I'm proud of you, man. It looks like you got some good things going on in the future. I can't wait to see your heads-up match with Doug when it happens.
It happens. Like, I hope it happens. But like, I don't know. It looks like he's being a bitch. But Doug, if you're listening, if you're watching this, man, I hope you are. Like, give me a call, man. I'm tired of people like messaging me and like trying to talk on your behalf. Like, listen, if you're serious, give me a call and we're gonna play for the $1 million, okay? If you're not serious, that just shows something about yourself, eh? You make a bet with someone, and then you're gonna just go behind. You're just gonna ignore it, and you're just gonna talk shit, and then you're not gonna do it. You're a bitch, bro.
Sal, is that a #King hat that you're wearing right now?
Of course.
Show us the #King hat, man. You can buy those. What's your website, man? Where can we buy those #King hats?
Go to HashtagKing.ca. Make sure you spell it out. HashtagKing.ca. Buy a hat. I've had so many people buying my stuff lately. Like, look at this hat, man. This is a nice hat, man. And I have different colors. I have sweaters. I have T-shirts. Whatever you need, #King. I got you.
That's nice, man. I like your logo, man, and that looks like a quality hat, man, as well.
Yeah, man. Like, these are expensive hats, man. Like, when I sell these hats, I'm not making that much money on them because I'm going for quality. I could easily go and get like the Chinese hat, and manufacture it and make a killing off the hats, but I'm not doing that, because I want people, when they wear the hat, I want them to feel like they're wearing something that's like, that's amazing. Like, I have my buddy who's a UFC fighter. He hasn't stopped wearing my hats. He just takes them from me. When I'm with him and he's in my hotel room, he just steals the hats. Like, he loves them so much. And I'm not even joking, bro. You can check him out. Like Julian Lane MMA. He was on TV yesterday.
Right.
Like, he's always wearing one of my hats.
Nice.
They're that good.
Yeah, man. They're nice, man. So thank you so much for joining me, man. You provided a lot of good insight, man. Looks like you got some great stuff in the future, man. And again, man, I really appreciate you being the first guest on my show, man.
No problem.
All right, man. Well, we'll talk soon. Thanks again.
Thank you.